katika makao makuu ya burudani, makao makuu ya vipaji, Rungira.
Mshikamano nchini ndio nguzo ya ufanisi.
Katiba kata wa kata ya Mkata alikataa katakata kukata mti katika kata ya Mkata.
Je, ajira ni lazima baada ya chuo kikuu?
Elimu ya chuo kikuu huandaa wanafunzi kwa soko la ajira na huongeza uwezekano wa kupata kazi zenye kadhi na malipo mazuri.
Utoaji wa rushwa na upendeleo imekidhiri mazingira ya soko la ajira.
Sauti cha ina sifa zipi?
Ni sauti siguna.
Sauti siguna. Tunga sentensi kwa kuzingatia nomino ya jamii. Wingu. Wingu la?
Mzige.
Tena?
Mzige.
Makofi wapigie.
Well, major developments are coming from the Middle East, especially following that particular address by none other than Donald Trump, the United States of America president, confirming that the U.S. has led a strike in 3 key areas of Iran. Of course, you do know what is happening between Iran and Israel. At the end of the day, we'll inform you. We have the latest on that, as well as other stories making headlines here in the country. My name is Abdiaziz Hashim. The sign language interpreter in just a few will be Lensa Odingo, and our social media platforms are at KBC Channel 1 and at Abdiaziz Hashim 2. But let's start here in the country, where Kasarani Member of Parliament Ronald Karuri has strongly condemned the escalating insecurity and rising cases of police brutality within his constituency. His remarks come in the wake of a tragic incident where one family is mourning the death of their kin as a young woman from Kasarani who was recently found murdered. The lawmaker raised concerns over the lack of tangible results from the family's side task force that was formed to address the increasing cases of femicide. He noted that despite the task force establishment, the killings have continued unabated. The murder triggered protests in Kasarani as residents took to the streets, demanding justice and calling for improved security in the area.
There was a femicide task force that was formed because of the rising cases of femicide in this country. We're yet to see any progress or any work that has come out of it because the incidents keep happening. For this one, I want to again ask the police to make sure they do a thorough investigation so that the perpetrator is found and booked and justice taken against the perpetrator. The second incident is an unfortunate one because the first incident I've just mentioned triggered a series of protests in Kasarani. Unfortunately, again, we have seen a very drastic case of police brutality whereby protesters were met with unnecessary force. The live bullet of a policeman ended the life of one of our Kasaranian people, and I would like to ask the Inspector General of Police to ensure that this perpetrator, who is now a policeman, to have this gentleman arrested.
The Kenya National Union of Teachers KNUT has faulted the law enforcement agencies across the country, accusing the officers of failing in their duty to protect citizens. Speaking at the annual general meeting of KNUT Butere branch in Kakamega County, KNUT's National Deputy Treasurer, that is Kennedy Nyamwanda, criticized what he described as a disturbing pattern of police brutality. His remarks followed the recent death of teacher Albert Ojwang, who allegedly died under unclear circumstances while in police custody. Nyamwanda also took a swipe at political leaders who distribute employment letters to teachers during funeral events, a practice he condemned as both unprofessional and misleading.
We condemn the killing of Albert Ojwang seriously. Because even if you mess, suppose stage, it is us who handle these children in the school. And suppose we were too brutal like the police with the children, tungekuwa na watoto. So as teachers, we condemn the act of the police by killing Albert Ojwang. Taking him from Homa Bay to Nairobi to kill him. A teacher, professional teacher. We cannot sit and watch.
And in other news, Principal Secretary for the State Department for Housing and Urban Development, Charles Hinga, has revealed that the proposal given to the President by KNUT officials to reduce their housing unit deposit from 10% to 5% is in the final stages of consideration. Speaking at the sidelines of the ongoing meeting with the National Assembly Departmental Committee on Housing, Urban Planning and Public Works at Serena Hotel in Mombasa County, PS Hinga called on low-income earners to utilize the facility to become home owners. At the same time, the chairman of the National Assembly Departmental Committee on Housing, Urban Planning and Public Works, Johanna Ngeno, reiterated they will embark on a tour of the projects across the country to check on their progress.
Wafanyakazi wanasema sasa sisi tumechangia hizi fedha. Je, ni ungwana ya kwamba mimi nimechangia pesa na mtu mwingine hajachangia pesa alafu tupate the same interest rate? Tukaona wako na haki pale hivi ambayo wanatushawishi tuangalie. Kwa hivyo tumeangalia hayo maneno na kotu walikutana na the president na wamejumuisha mashawishi yao na tumeyachukua. Kwa hivyo sasa tunaangalia venye tutapunguza ile deposit kutoka 10% kwenda 5%. Kwa hivyo ile tumekubaliana na wao, na pia tumekubaliana ya kwamba watapewa kipaumbele wakati wa kumiliki hizi nyumba.
For those probably 1.5 years we have never sat to do a review of exactly what they have done. We've been visiting several projects, of course, to check on the status and how far it has gone and how much money has been spent, and of course to assess maybe those projects which has been reported to maybe have stalled, and those are just the factors we've been trying to look here and there. And remember, as an oversight committee, our major job is to ensure that after appropriation of funds, we follow it up to ensure that the money that we appropriated has done its work.
And on the political front, Kenyans have been urged to reject divisive politics and politicians using them to settle their political scores. This was the clarion call by a section of leaders by the National Assembly Speaker, led by the National Assembly Speaker, that is Moses Masika Wetangula, who attended a women empowerment event in Navakholo constituency. Wetangula emphasized the importance of the national cohesion, cautioning residents against falling prey to politicians seeking to divide them along tribal lines. Other leaders at the event called on Kenyans to remain focused on development issues and keep the peace.
Nimesikia wengine wanasema next week wanataka maandamano. Kuandamana kuko katika katiba, lakini kuvunja mali ya watu kwa sababu ya maandamano ni uhalifu. Na tunawaambia wale maduka wanavunja kule Nairobi na nini, mtu amejaribu awezavyo, ako na mali yake kidogo, vijana wanakuja wanapora wanaenda nayo. Kwa nini? Iko maandamano. So those who call for demonstrations must also bear the greatest responsibility when looting and destruction of property takes place.
There is no better chance. Mnizikiza vizuri. There is no better opportunity than the opportunity we have with William Ruto. Wale ambao wanatafuta kiti ya rais 2032, hata ukiweka hapa Moses Wetangula, uweke hao wale wengine hapa, saa 2 ya asubuhi yule mtu ya masuti atakuwa ameanguka analilia kwa mnyoro kijiji yake huko Nyeri.
An ambitious campaign to tame rising cases of HIV infections in Kisumu County has been rolled out, setting the stage for the county to diverse ways to reduce the rate of new infections. The campaign comes in the wake of statistics that revealed Kisumu County is leading in the number of HIV cases, with an estimated 11.7% of the county population living with the virus. Achola Simon with the details.
With an estimated prevalence rate of 11.7%, Kisumu County takes the lead among 10 counties that bear the greatest burden of HIV in the country. Of the 11.7% infected persons, at least 41% are adolescents aged between 15 to 25.
I feel that adolescents are that interest group in our society who are treated like children because they don't have IDs, they don't have jobs, they cannot contract. They are supposed to be, you can only speak through their parents. Some of them don't have parents, but we still insist only parents and guardians can speak for them.
A worrying trend that has triggered nominated Senator Catherine Muma to partner with the National Syndemic Disease Control Council to reverse the trend.
We project a multi-sectoral approach where we bring everybody on board, policymakers, leadership, the community gatekeepers, and so that is the main reason why we partnered with the office of the senator, nominated senator, to actually undertake this sensitization in the select school in Nyakach sub-county, Kisumu County.
Muma faulted the lack of joint strategy amongst stakeholders. She cautioned if the trend is left unchecked, it could reverse the gains made in reducing HIV prevalence in the country.
I'm informed Kenya is number 3 in the world in teen pregnancies. I think that is the greatest crisis we have in this country, beyond any other, because having worked so hard on women's empowerment in this country, we have good laws. This particular issue, teen pregnancies, is going to pull us back many years.
Now, for us to benefit from the demographic dividend, we need to tap into this subset of the population, make sure that it's safe, it's healthy, and it's well nurtured. So the triple threat, for instance, right now, is a major threat to this cohort. And therefore, if we sit back and fail to do something about it, then the problem will be bigger than what we are seeing today.
And internationally, U.S. President Donald Trump announced that U.S. forces had completely obliterated 3 key Iranian nuclear sites in Fordow, Nans and Isfahan. Trump stated that the objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and put a stop to the nuclear threat posed by Tehran. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu praised the move as a bold decision that will change history. Iran's nuclear safety center, however, reported that no signs of contamination had been detected at the targeted sites.
A short time ago, the U.S. military carried out massive precision strikes on the 3 key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime, Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan. Everybody heard those names for years as they built this horribly destructive enterprise. Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. Tonight I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace. If they do not, future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier. For 40 years, Iran has been saying death to America, death to Israel. They have been killing our people, blowing off their arms, blowing off their legs with roadside bombs. That was their specialty. We lost over 1,000 people, and hundreds of thousands throughout the Middle East and around the world have died as a direct result of their hate. In particular, so many were killed by their general, Qasem Soleimani.
14 minutes past the hour. We need to take a short breather, but when we come back, we'll be talking about business and sports.
Looking to advertise on KBC? KBC announcement services are now available on eCitizen. Visit kbc.ecitizen.go.ke and fill out the online application form. It's simple. 1. Complete the form. 2. Upload required documents. 3. Receive a quotation based on word count. And 4. Get notified via SMS when your announcement is ready. Please note, clearly indicate the type of announcement, service station, and all relevant details. 2. All applications must be made online only. Manual submissions will not be accepted. And 3. Announcements will air after news bulletins. For assistance, reach us on email ecitizen@kbc.co.ke or use our social media handles, Facebook, your Facebook account, and X at your X account. Or you can call us on 0723-892-654 or 0734-780-124. KBC announcements. Simple, fast, and digital.
Jane, uno leo ni kuishi na bwanako huko. Mimi nafaa kwa chui hao.
Chabali.
Mamake asijue mambo ya Amerika.
Nimesikia yeye ni baba wa kambo. Najua hiyo story na mvulia kofia.
Ulitoa wapi hizo story bamba?
Nilikuwa najua by now ningekuwa either Lagos ama Abuja. That's a beautiful love story.
Vile nilikuwa nafikiri ni jabu.
Nataka around 2.5 million. Hizo pesa hata sijui kama niko nazo kwa bank. Tuenda Malindi ama Jiani?
Paka chini, paka down.
Unaweza niita Liz ama Mama Ike.
19 nations will compete in the Total Energies CAF African Nations Championship, Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania 2024, which will be staged from 2nd to 30th August 2025. Amongst the 4 groups in the tournament A to D, Kenya is pooled in Group A, together with Morocco, Angola, DR Congo, and Zambia.
Algeria from the set piece, the header is on target, but it's...
This unique competition featuring the best locally based players from across the continent definitely has something for everyone. Just bring your A game as you let it flow live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Now, the Kenya Dentists Association, KDA, now wants the Social Health Authority to include a dental and oral health treatment under the medical services covered by the insurance scheme. Addressing the media in Nairobi, KDA President Dr. Kahura Mundia faulted SHA for excluding dental health services. At the same time, the association has challenged the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Council, KMPDC, to enhance professionalism by getting rid of rogue dentists who have infiltrated the dental profession.
We want the government to prioritize access to oral healthcare services by having qualified persons providing services to Kenyans in the manner that they deserve, and a national cover to pay for the same services, because services are quite expensive, and paying out of pocket for dental care services is not sustainable. So the government should offer that cushion through the social health insurance package. So we call upon the SHA authority to consider to fast track the process of designing a tariff that Kenyans can benefit on these particular issues.
Let's take a look at what is happening at the devolved units. Police in Busia County have intercepted a lorry with 8,000 litres of ethanol, which was destined for central part of the country from Uganda. This comes a month after Busia Police Commander destroyed bang worth 45 million shillings. This and other stories is in our county's news roundup.
Addressing the press at Malaba Police Station, Western Region Police Commander Isaac Mohamud noted that the police have intensified patrols along the borders to curb all forms of drug trafficking and entry of unaccustomed goods through the porous border.
We successfully intercepted a motor vehicle, KDD 287U FRR Zuzu, which was ferrying 32 drums of ethanol.
And in Murang'a County, the Ministry of Education has confirmed the retooling of teachers in preparation for the shift from the competency-based curriculum to competency-based education (CBE). The head of directorate, Nelson Sifuna, noted that efforts to make the transition smooth were ongoing.
From Monday, the principals of Kenya are in Mombasa, and all of them, we have 2 days of guiding them on how to prepare to receive the grade 10 that are coming.
Meanwhile, in Siaya County, the resident of a Central Alego ward in Siaya, led by the area member of the County Assembly, David Reagan, have decried the rise in cases of insecurity in the area, challenging the police to put up their game and ensure them of their safety. A marauding gang of young men armed with machetes have been roaming the ward, attacking homes and stealing cattle.
So I'm just calling upon our parents, if they can take time with these young people, talk to them, make them understand how they should live.
Staying in Siaya County, the executive director of Siaya Muungano Network, Charlene Athiambo, says that the effect of climate change are taking a toll on families in Siaya. They have called for inclusion of women in the fight against climate change.
We are committed to still strengthen the grassroots engagement of women on issues of climate change, and we'll also be promoting locally led solutions so that then we are able to advance gender responsive integrated climate solutions.
In Kirinyaga County, farmers of Inoi Cooperative Society will benefit from a 3-year project targeting about 5,000 farmers dubbed Brewing the Future Coffee. The Mount Kenya Sustainable Landscape and Livelihood Program, led by the Rainforest Alliance, aimed to address the challenges in the coffee sector through promotion of regenerative agriculture, climate-smart practices, and the inclusion of women and youth in the coffee sector, with the purpose to improve coffee yield, quality, and resilience against climate change.
We shall be implementing the project through 3 pathways, which is regenerative and climate-smart agriculture. We shall be strengthening the coffee business by enhancing coffee productivity and quality.
Finally, in Embu County, the government has reaffirmed its commitment to micro, small, and medium enterprise MSME transformation. The Principal Secretary, Susan Mangeni, further emphasized the importance of academic partnerships and collaboration with educational institutions, which are essential for unpacking complex value chains and building critical capacity among youth and aspiring entrepreneurs, fostering a more robust and innovative MSME ecosystem.
We are going to create a conducive regulatory environment. Biashara wamekuwa kituambia, muna introduce so many licenses. Sindio? Mara unataka hii ya hospitali, mara sijui uende ya wapi, occupational, wapi. Tukasema, is there a way we can put all these licenses together so that ikuwe tu moja. Unaenda kwa ofisi moja na hata ikuwe digital.
Meanwhile, poultry farmers in Kisumu County are calling on the local administration to cushion them against constant losses occasioned by what they describe as the high cost of production as well as a lack of price standardization in the subsector. The farmers also want subsidized for the poultry feeds in what they believe will significantly boost their investment. The farmers are at the same time decrying exploitation by middlemen.
The challenge that farmers have been facing mainly is the cost of feeds, because feeds are made elsewhere and then brought to Kisumu. And when they come here, sometimes they are more expensive, and that actually goes to the bigger margin of the cost of production. So if we can get some subsidies through our government and even maybe technical assistance from now and then, we get some trainings and how we can leverage in the market, that would help us a lot.
I have seen their livestock programs, so I would wish to ask the county government or the national government to at least include poultry farming in these programs. Most of us, we are doing this out of passion and out of unemployment. So if the government would hold our hands, then we believe that we'll be able to produce more.
A section of Somali communities and members of the Council of Elders in Isiolo County are calling on Isiolo County Assembly members to consider arbitration following a stalemate with Governor Abdiaziz instead of pushing for his impeachment. The elders argue that arbitration will avert the risk of destabilizing the current peaceful coexistence among the ethnic communities in the county. Further, they noted that though impeachment is a lawful process, it is tedious and could negatively affect service delivery within the devolved unit.
Njia ya kura kutokuwa na imani, yani the impeachment motion, ingawa ni chombo halali, ni hatua kali ambayo inapaswa kutekelezwa tu wakati njia zingine zote za utatuzi zimeshindwa. Inaweza kusababisha ukosefu mkubwa wa utulivu, usumbufu wa utoaji wa huduma na mgawanyiko wa kusikitisha ndani ya uongozi na baina ya jamii ambayo wanaishi katika hii kaunti yetu ya Isiolo.
Umoja wa kaunti yetu ni muhimu. Kwa hivyo tungependa viongozi upande zote mbili wakutane, wajaribu kujadiliana hii maneno kwa kina. Hakuna kitu haina suluhu. Kila kitu ina suluhu.
Over 13 dogs in Nyachege sub-county in Kisii County have been killed by a strange animal suspected to be a leopard. According to Samson Muranga, the strange animal invaded his home and killed his German Shepherd dogs. The area borders Transmara in Narok County, the home of the expansive Mara National Reserve. The residents are now calling for the intervention of the Kenya Wildlife Service to locate the strange animal and compensate the affected farmers.
Kuna kitu kilikucha, sijui hiyo kitu gani. Kilikucha siku ya chuma usiku, na hiyo umbwa sijui hiyo kitu gani kilikucha, na hiyo kitu iko hapa kinatembea hapa kwa mahindi, iko hapa ndani, kilikuwa kinaua hiyo mbu yangu.
Nataka wale ambao wanasimamia wanyama pori wakuje hapa ili wachunguze wajue ni mnyama gani hiyo ilikucha kawawa hii umbwa. Sasa kitu kilioko ikimaliza hii maumbwa yote inaendelea kumaliza, lakini ikimaliza inarudi kwa binadamu. Na sisi tunataka serikali ikuche iangalie, tuambie ni mnyama gani ili tusaidie tu hiyo mnyama kwa hii chichi.
And finally, Ulsan's HD's Club World Cup journey came to an end on Saturday morning following a 4-2 defeat to Brazilian champions Fluminense at the MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. The K-League One side, needing a win to keep their tournament hopes alive, bowed out to the expanded competition at the group stage after consecutive defeats to Mamelodi Sundown and now the Copa Liberados holders.
Into the top corner. An absolute beauty from the Colombian international. and you can understand just why he is smiling. Get away with Here is still going. Can he get the shot away? He can. It's a dangerous ball across the face of goal. And it's 1-1. Completely against the run of play. And all stand level. And it's Lee Jin-hyun. Would you believe it? Chipping it through. Dixon. He gets to the ball first. Can't find a teammate. The danger isn't fully clear yet. And that's a good ball in. And Ulsan leads. Incredible. And it's who's got the goal. I mean, they've done so much to... And 3 in the centre, what can he produce? Lovely footwork once more. Here's a chance, and it's 2-2. It's Nonato. And Fluminense have their equaliser. And it's Keno's come on. Towards Everaldo, does attack it, Arias, jumping well. Here's another chance, he's missed it. Surely it's going to be 3-2, and it is. They've turned it around, Fluminense, and it's Freitas, the centre.
Now, despite the exit, the tournament continues there in the United States of America. It's the Club World Cup. All the major clubs from all the continents here on this particular globe are meeting there. We'll see who will be the best club in the entire world. That concludes our bulletin, but do join us in our subsequent bulletins at 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. for a comprehensive bulletin. My name is Abdiaziz Hashim, the sign language interpreter at the bottom end of the screen, Ilensa Odingo. Enjoy your viewing.
Mpenzi mtazamaji, wakati mwingine tena tunakutana kwenye jamvi la kulipendalo, jamvi la sanaa ya Kiswahili, pale ambapo tutapiga mbizi na makafi. Kwanza kabisa kukualika na uweze kutulia nyumbani tuweze kupiga show hii nambari 1. Kumbuka ni kipindi chako hiki cha sanaa ya Kiswahili. Tupo katika makao makuu ya burudani, makao makuu ya vipaji, Rungira. Sauti za kumtoa nyoka pangoni na kumleta ulingoni hadi jukwani ni sauti za wanafunzi hawa. Kumbuka tupo